Hey everybody, Steven here. So just a little update on my project. So the last video, that's what we ended up with, where I took that timeline idea and trying to create those spaces around it. Since then, I've been working a lot and try to explore other ideas without restricting myself too much with that timeline. And so that's what I have. It's quite a big change, but let me explain that to you. Let me get my pen. So what I try to do is to let's zoom in, and we're just gonna take a red pen. So now I have one center space on the edge here. There was going to be like a public space where people would gather here, then go into the different spaces. Like this one would be the library space, and here there was going to be like the theater, and this is like a terrace above, but then underneath there's going to be a ramp that will take you to the other level. Because if you look at the diagram here, the library space is actually, it's about like 2.7 above that space, so yeah, so that's why it's going up. And here you would still have the main entry, and here I kind of designed like a cafe, and those towers will be like the circulations to go to the memorial below. If you look at here, so you would enter from here, and then you'll go down to either the first gallery, or if you keep going down, you'll enter to the gallery where there is the memorial that's connected. And so you would come through here, you go down to the memorial, or you can go back up to that gallery, and then you can go back up and exit to visit the open space or to the library. So that's the concept I was working on, and on this particular one I actually removed the service space area to create another park, one that's made of like a cube where people could go there and play. It kind of reminds you the idea of like playing where there's like a river, like a waterfall. People could jump on the rocks, kind of recreate a space that's represent the Tahitian landscape. Well, that's what I try to achieve here. And here above, that's like the terrace where it's connecting the theater and the library, and then people could actually go up to the top of the memorial. So that's what I wanted to do with this. But I think the main issue that I had with that concept was there was such a big gap between this space and the library. Like when you go there, if you don't know, it just like it creates like some type of barrier. You have to go through the ramp, and here there's like a set of staircase as well. Yeah, so you would have like staircase coming from here, so you could go to the library level, and that's the ramp. But I just felt it was too disconnected from the street level, and that open space didn't feel really secure, and wasn't really creating that link or bonding effect that I wanted to do. So what I decided to go with is this second concept here, where I essentially move the open space inside. So that's the library. Oops. Oh, I'm drawing on the page. Wait, just Control Z and make sure I'm drawing it here. So that's the library here, and now it's actually accessible through the street level. And here I was thinking to maybe add some staircase, so if I wanted to access the courtyard, so visually visible. And then from the side you can still access the courtyard at the back, which is space here is actually linking all those three main buildings. Here I kind of also push the memorial down because on the side is an existing pond, and I thought it would be good to retain that. But as I'll show you in the next iteration, I didn't have enough space here to create that type of area. So what I did is I would remove this. Here's some 3D view of the type of space that I'm aiming for and the style of it. So here there's like a theater where people could gather and debate. Initially I had it in a special room here, but I think I'm just gonna keep that as and not just dedicating a space for just the theater, because the seating area it wouldn't allow for flexibility in the user space. So I'd rather create an open space where in the future you could do whatever you want, but the one on the outside in the courtyard, I feel like but yeah, I just feel that this type of design the cars and came up this morning. So it's kind of the same idea. I'm just gonna delete all this and I'm gonna create a, so I still have the library in here. Oops, library, and that's the other like workshop, flexible space. I got the memorial and got the courtyard. And in this instance, I'd like to can I see the courtyard as the lagoon, something that's like in the open, but it's protected by a reef, which will be like the building around it. So this one here and this one here. Those park will be like transition space to get inside the lagoon, so they will kind of act like the reef, the barrier as well, which is more porous and accessible to the public, like because those ones are libraries, so they have like doors and gates, so it's more private, but those space could be accessible at any time. And this one I would see it more as like an island, like white sand, coconut trees, something that you would typically see in the postcard, and that would kind of reflect what tourists expect of Tahiti. So the Paradise Island, and here the park, it's similar to what I had before. I just want to represent that stony mountain feel, and so the lagoon is just a space where people can chill out. I was still debating with myself if this space should be covered, because I mean it's really hot, maybe people wouldn't use that space as much, but I mean that could be for a later thing. And so similar to my idea at the beginning, I'm still designing spaces. So like there's the first space, another one, and the library space, the park, the memorial, and there's those transition space here. There are like circulation space that allow movement through levels and through the sites. Because in my master planning, the sites here, it's actually an existing car park for which it's enclosed, because there's other buildings around here. So there's one, so they're existing, and there's a courtyard here. So I thought maybe in the future this car park could be turned into another garden or landscapes that could be linked to here. So I left some openings from here to here, so people could actually cross the site more easily, and it's make it this area more permeable. And so maybe in the future that wall there that's separating could just be removed, and then you could design this as a landscape for that courtyard, and maybe this could be covered and this remain the open space. Yeah, so that's the idea. What else do I want to say about this design? Oh yeah, I really wanted to keep the idea of the timeline, the one that's cutting through the site here. So that's why I kept like it's like a void. It's not going to be covered. Eraser. Except from here, I think visually from the top I would have like slats, so we cut like this, and then we have the staircase. So like the journey will start from here, the staircase will go up, and then you'll turn here, you'll arrive to the courtyard, and then you would have like so that would be like the water, the reflecting pond that's connecting both sides. Blue. So this is connecting the two circulation space, I'd say. And then I would have more set of staircase that's going up to this level. Yeah, it really kind of simplify the design, because I felt that the initial one that I had was too all over the place, and the shapes were not connecting really. And as you can see here, there's a lot of those angles here at the back. I guess was first a response to the site, because that's the shape of the existing site that we're working with. Maybe I'm still not sure, but I wanted to represent here it's straight, showing the good image, something that's order, but if you look a bit beyond and go behind, it's more angle. It's the shape are not as ordered, I'd say. And yeah, so that's kind of what I want to do. Here at first I had another wall there, but I guess there was too many walls and it wasn't creating the space that I wanted. So now it's you would have a ramp coming here, and then the ramp underneath that will connect to that level. It's really hard to see in floor plans right now, but then I'll show you the 3D model that I have at the moment, so you can clearly see the different spaces. Oh, maybe let's just do that now. It's be easier to show you. So that's the ArchiCAD model. The color is really just to emphasize the different materials or space. So this is the space I was talking to you about. It's designed a bit differently because I haven't really applied the sketch yet, but the idea is that, oops, let's turn on the site. So we have like a ground floor to walk with. So I'm just gonna walk you through it. Let's speed it up. So you would come here, and then here you would have that stony park. You walk there, and here at the front that should be the door that's connecting to parks, and then you would come here, and this is like the circulation space, and that's the courtyard area. So this is the seating where people can debate, and you'd come here and you get that reflecting pond. And in this design I had like a ramp on this side to allow for accessibility. It come down, and that's the front of it. So if you come through here, so this is going to be the entry, while I retain the old facade. That's the new. Let's turn that into glass just so you can see through. So I created another upper level that could be used for like offices and stuff, or another part of the museum. And yeah, so that's what oops, let's just delete that for now. So that was supposed to be, well, that's my library at the bottom, and here that's like the working space. On top that will be a museum, another set of gallery that's showing more about the culture and the artifacts, then singing, all that type of stuff. Because like the underground, the memorial is more about the history and telling people a bit more about the colonizations of Tahiti. And here at the back I did leave some I think this was the space for like the servicing or entry, but it might change. That was like the back entry, where I would have a set of staircase that will take you to that courtyard level, but this might turn into that ramping, because I do want to have a ramp just to allow for accessibility. And so yeah, let's go down to, so you would come here, so that's the memorial. They will have some type of spiral that takes you down to the memorial. So it's around, so that's, go down again. So like that's one of the spiral staircase that I've designed, and then you will go through the memorial. So those are the spaces. There'll be stuff on the wall, and in the center you can have some type of sculpture, or like a main piece, upward piece that could be hanging from the ceiling as well, because it's quite like I think it's about 6 meter high, so it's a big space. So you would come down here, and there's another one, and I think here it's ramping up to connect to the upper levels. And if you go back here, there's also that timeline space where maybe this is talking more about the stuff that happened between the two cultures. And then it connects back, so this is also another gallery. And then you could go here, which connects you to the memorial space, which would have that type of feeling with the big column going all the way to the top. Here I also had some type of openings that's leading to the park, so that even from outside, from different positions, you could actually see the memorial in a different way. So I would have one from the park, there's going to be some openings from the top, and even one from the other galleries, so that people know that this type of space, and they will look for it. So you go back here, and this will connect you to the other gallery. It's like a bigger open space. Yeah, it's not really finished at this stage, but it's just to give you a sense of the space, what it looked like. So if you were to, let's go back up, so that's the entry of the memorial. So if you were to go the upper level, there will be some staircase or another elevator. You would come here, So there could be another gallery space, and you enter from there. There's like a bridge, so you could see the courtyard at the back, and then you enter that, and then you get a bigger space that's above the library, and a space for museum display stuff. Come here, and there will be another pond that's just above the transition space. This just to create some type of landscape, and also to bring lights in on that side, because we're using the water, it'll kind of bounce around and reflect. So, and you can continue your journey there, and that's it. So that would be the memorial. Oh yeah, here I would have like the staircase. So I'm gonna cross that wall. Oops. And I could go up to the top of the memorial. So at the beginning I was thinking to allow everybody to just go on top, but then I realized maybe I should incorporate it as a part of the journey inside the memorial museum, so it can only be accessed through the museum. And yeah, so you go to the top, and you'll get a better view of the whole building, and see what's around you. Yep, so that's the current design that I have at the moment. Oh yes, so here if you go to that level, you can also access another space here just above, and there's going to be like a roof garden. And then here normally you would have view to the port, the water, and all the boats. And yep, so that's what I have so far. And if you're looking at plan, still need to work out my ArchiCAD model. It's not showing properly, but so yeah, I think the next stage for me is to kind of really simplify the shapes. I mean, I could add some furniture and everything to give some more sense of scale, but I think I really want to focus on making sure all those spaces are connected. Yep, I guess that's it for now. I'm just wanted to give you a little update on where I'm at with this project. I was thinking to kind of stop designing 2 weeks ago so I could go back to my writing, but I just got so caught up in it, and now I just don't want to stop. I'm thinking I'm nearly to the stage where I'm quite happy with it, and I think it's getting there. Anyway, if you have some questions or any comments on the design that I have so far, feel free to post in the comments, or you can just yeah. Well, thank you. See you.